Aloha. Welcome to all good things in all good time, where life is good and it's always a great day to be alive, right? The only thing you have control of is your attitude, the way you respond to all the things you have no control of. So, it's a great day to be alive. And I'm double-fisted. Got some fancy coffee here. What is this place? Grisini, I don't know, coffee store that serves tequila. Don Julio, which is right here. All right, a little reposado. They didn't have añejo, so since I drove across the United States of America, I thought I should indulge in one drink. Okay, so let's talk story here. Let's get into it here. I'm gonna do like a fire update in a sense. I mean, I'm obviously not in Hawaii. In fact, I should just mention where I'm at. People skiing indoors. This is the largest mall in the world. It's called the American Dream. Is it the American Dream? I don't know. If you're a materialist, this could be the American Dream, you know? To me, a swim in a beautiful lake or the ocean or a stream or a hike to the top of a mountain or a walk on the beach, that for me is far more the American dream than a stroll through a mall. Unlike some people, the one thing that I don't look forward to, the one thing I don't want to do is go spend money and shop. As if shopping is a real thing to do anyway. Having said that, I don't buy anything online. I'm not a fan of destroying my local businesses by buying everything from Jeff Bezos, even though I could save $1.50. I know you all love to save $1.50 and you have everything sent to your house and you love that. I get it, but I do not. So if I were to buy something, I might come to this mall and go right where I would want to buy something and buy exactly what I would want to buy. Like, for instance, I bought this tripod. I came in the mall, I said, where will sell one? They said Best Buy. I went there, I found it, I bought it, etc. That's how I shop. Anyway, the American Dream, the largest mall in the world. The MetLife Center, there's a huge stadium next door. There's a water park inside this place. There is an amusement park with a roller coaster inside this place. Killer huge Angry Birds, miniature golf, huge areas for people to lounge and sit in. Again, snow skiing and snowboarding right behind me inside this mall that does not have enough people in it. This mall is not going to last for very long, and that is one of the stories in America, right? All the malls closing. So it'll be interesting to see where this one goes, because every business looks like it does not have enough business. It has some, right? Like, for instance, my son wanted to go to the Mr. Beast Burger, so we went there. There were 2 people there, and then 2 more showed up, and then my son had a burger, and he gave it a 6 out of 10. Not a very good burger, he said. Anyway, we like Mr. Beast. He's a nice guy. In fact, if there was one church that would make sense, it would be the Church of Mr. Beast. Why? Because he gives everything back, right? What if churches did that? Oh, my God. And nonprofits. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to talk about the fire at the end. That way, if I cry, it'll be at the end, because no one needs to see me crying, which I've been doing less and less of. It's been a great distraction having to drive across the United States of America. It's a great distraction from everything that's been going on, right? You can't really think about having lost all your shit when you're going through a construction site where there's, you know, a wall here, just barely enough space for your car, and you've been on the road for hours, and now you're freaked out. Anyway, it happens. There's a lot of construction going on. Good job, Joe Biden, with that infrastructure bill. All you Republicans who didn't vote for it suck shit. My God. Okay, so let's get into it here. I'm going to start out with a story, because I'm afraid if I don't do it right away, won't have the energy at the end. So I'm going to tell you a story from when I rode a bicycle across the United States of America, what is now 34 years ago. Summer of 1989, I rode a bicycle from San Francisco to San Diego to Jacksonville Beach. up to Washington, D.C., flew home. Texas is a third of the country, right? So, and I would just explain my route by explaining the border towns, right? So, in this case, the case of Texas, I would tell people, oh, I'm just riding from El Paso to Vidor, right? El Paso is one border town, and Vidor, Texas is the other border town. All right, and then right after that, about 60 or 70% of the time, a Texan would say to me, do you know about Vidor, Texas? Anyway, recently there was a viral video on TikTok or YouTube where a black truck driver drove into Vidor and was told he did not belong there and to get out, right, for his own safety. So when I rode a bicycle across the United States, everyone would pull me aside and say, do you know about Vidor? Do you know about Vidor? Like, it's the most racist town in America. It's where the Ku Klux Klan was invented, right? Or one of the places it was founded, maybe two cities where the KKK were founded, and Vidor, Texas being one of them, right? So it's just sort of this thing, you know, and we come to know about these sundown towns from the Tulsa massacre that we've come to learn about, and many other towns where black people were told you can't be in town, and if you are, you're going to get hung, right? God. Imagine all the Americans whose ancestors were freaking sick murderers who took pleasure in hanging innocent people and ripping their bodies apart. Like, there's a lot of people who have grandparents, great-grandparents, and beyond who participated in these activities. Anyway, I'm so glad none of my ancestors were sick murderers. Can't be good for your bloodline. Anyway, so Vidor, Texas. All across Texas, everyone says to me, oh, do you know about Vidor? It is a dangerous place if you ain't white. So I get there. I'm in Vidor. I pull off. I go to a gas station. I see a guy with a baseball cap and driving a Trans Am. He's about my age. And so I get a conversation going. And I got this bicycle loaded, and people want to talk to me because I got a bicycle that just came across the U.S. It's a conversation piece, right? So we get talking, and I get his confidence. And so I said to him, hey, man, you know, I keep hearing this narrative that Vidor is a super racist town and so on. And he says, oh yeah, I think the Ku Klux Klan was founded here and one other place in Mississippi, he says to me. And then he says to me, yeah, they used to hang them. But you know what they just did recently, he says to me? They lit their apartment building on fire. Like you're talking about animals, right? Not human beings. They lit their apartment building on fire and shot them while they were running out. True story. Brutal. Gnarly. 1989. You can say that was a long time ago, and you also might suggest that maybe things haven't changed. Who knows? Anyway, according to that one guy with his viral video, maybe things haven't changed. So that's Vidor, Texas. The most reputably racist town in all of Texas, for whatever that's worth. If you didn't know, and it's right on the border. So I leave that gas station. I go across the border into Louisiana, and there's a rest stop right there. And I pull off. I get a flat tire as I'm pulling off, and I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to change my tire. There's fire ants everywhere. The thought of taking everything off my bike and changing my tire is just not something I'm really in the mood for. It's just, Then this wonderful family pulls up from the town of Thibodaux, Louisiana, the Gautays. And the Gautay family had 3 kids. They were in their minivan, and they had just been to Six Flags in Houston. Nice parents taking their kids to amusement parks, right? Nice people. They offered me a ride to the next town where I could get into a bike shop and maybe get them to change my tire and tune up my bike, which was something I did frequently. I always tried to get a free tune-up whenever I could from any bike shop, right? If you're going to ride a bicycle across country, I recommend you do that. People might take pity on you and give you free tune-ups, and your health is your wealth, and your bike working is your other wealth. You need your bike and yourself to be working, or you're never going to get across country anyway. So I get in the car, and so they say, we'll give you a ride to Lafayette, I think is And so, where there's a bike shop or whatever. And I get in the car, and we start going down the road, and they have a little huddle in the front, and they just turn back to me and say, "Hey, we'd like you to come stay at our house." So this family, the nice Gote family, I think he was a State Farm insurance agent. He would be, what would he be now? He would be like a 70, 75, 80-year-old man now, maybe something like that, right? And those kids are all grown up and in their 30s, 40s. So, I think 2 girls and a boy, all under the age of 12 or 13. Huge front lawn in front of their house. They had cane fields behind their house in Louisiana, Thibodeau. They explained to me a lot of stuff. Anyway, just a really nice family, a great story. They fed me fried food, fried beignets, fried catfish, French fries, and then they took me to the one real nice little old school restaurant in town. They took me to the French Quarter like a tourist. So nice of them. And then when they learned I was going to try to ride a bicycle across the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge, they said, let us drive you across the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge, which saved my life, which was so nice. And that speaks to the point where I've taken a few rides on my trips, times when I really needed it. So that's the story. Now, on this trip, on the subject of YouTube, I went by gas station encounters. Gas station. Not very eventful, but very interesting nonetheless, because I have watched several of those funny videos of people stealing stuff. We just went to the Mr. Beast Burger. I'm staying in Bergen County, and the auditor guy that does all those great auditor videos, calling cops out on not knowing the Constitution and where a person can film and whatnot. That guy did a video with the police in Bergen County, educating them on how not to violate the Constitution, which is pretty cool. Progressive police station, right? Went through Denver, and my kids and I walked up on this great production this last night of the play of Beetlejuice. They were all getting out, walking by us. It was really cool. My daughter, I could just see her thinking, "Oh, these people are so cool. I could live here." She's looking to live somewhere where she can walk, and Denver looks like a great city for that. Just a great city altogether. Clean, beautiful, nice people. And then she told me that one of the dumbest people ever elected in our country was kicked out of there for vaping and just being a rude idiot. God, I watched the video, and it's like you're watching an 8-year-old kid, right? It's like an 8-year-old kid with freaking, attention deficit disorder. Anyway, that is Lauren Boebert. She resembles an 8-year-old kid with no attention span and no morals or any manners or ethics. She's just a piece of fucking trash. Dumb shit trash. I can't believe people vote for her. You should be so ashamed of yourself if you did. Anyway, so that's the YouTube. Then trip update. So we've just successfully driven from one grandma to another, and I've seen 3 good old friends, 1 good new friend, 1 cousin. That's a lot, and then a grandma and another grandma. So we are accomplishing a lot as far as visiting people, and one of them, John, Yervon, you met him. I did an interview with him. My friend John in Boise, he is a great guy, and he is a living legend. And he consented to an interview, which is exciting. He thinks we should do it over Zoom. I've never ever done a Zoom call, so I don't know how that would work, but. I'll be just as happy flying out to Boise to do it. But he has won 11 state championships as a high school coach in 20 years. A legend. He's also spent his whole life earning a living playing tennis. Oh my God, can you imagine? He is one of my heroes, right? You can earn a living doing something you love. That's some beautiful stuff. All right. What else? Oh, and then as you may have seen, I've been doing water quality tests, gas station, paying attention to the price of gas, and rest stop reviews. Of course, Iowa takes it to another level. They're pretty much some of the best in the country, but I can only give them 4.5 stars because they don't always have a couple more things that I've seen down the road that are even better. Like, there are rest stops with Keurig machines, freaking microwave ovens, and beautiful, clean, brand new barbecue pits. Like, who thinks of that? But if you thought of it, wouldn't it be cool if you just pulled over, took a break, and cooked a steak and then left a mess for somebody else? I mean, barbecue pits at rest stops. Interesting. I'll do another video of summarizing all that stuff. Well, I'll go over quick. So, gas, Hawaii $5.50, California $4.50, $5 basically. Oregon $4.50. Idaho was right at $4. Utah $4.15, and then Nebraska was down $4.49, $4.59. That was an outlier at the bottom end. Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana were all in the $3.69 to $3.79 range, maybe, right? Maybe $3.59. And then and Ohio was $3.49 also. Pennsylvania $3.59, and then New Jersey is also $3.59. So really great prices of gas in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, and Colorado. Idaho, okay, but all that stuff is below $4 a gallon versus the $5.55, $5.79 I was just paying on the west side of Maui. So that's interesting. Water quality test. I just tested the water here in New Jersey at 220 parts per million. Terrible water in Ohio, Indiana, Nebraska, Iowa, all 400 plus parts per million. Pennsylvania has beautiful water. It's 47 parts per million, just like Idaho. And then Denver in my hotel room was 150 parts per million of undissolved solids. That's all this is. And you get that tester, so the tester comes free with a zero water filter. My kid's grandma is like, "Oh, will you test the water here? I'm curious." And I'm just thinking, you can buy this filter for $29.99 at Walmart and test it for free, and then clean it down to zero. Just a thought, just an idea. And I'm not getting paid by Zero Water, but maybe I should be because I'm a big fan. So, getting through this. So, if you ever drive across the United States of America, don't push yourself, all right? What I do is literally stop when I don't think I even need to, right? Stop at almost every rest stop. Just get out and move your body, right? Sitting in a car for a long period of time is very unhealthy, right? So, try not to kill yourself. Get out of your car a lot, stop for gas a lot, keep your gas tank over a half tank so you're just always filling it up, and pull over and get out and check out every rest stop. If you want to make it across the United States without falling asleep at the wheel, without your body falling apart, do that. Stop a lot. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like what you're doing is against your interests. Your interests are in consistently staying on the road, being fresh, not dying. Because it's easy. So easy to fall asleep at the wheel. And so that's the key. If you ever try driving across the United States, plan on stopping all the time. And tell everyone in your car, that's what we're going to do. We're going to stop all the time. Because that's how you do it without, doing it dangerously. That's how to do it safe. Okay? So, let's see. Yervon, I don't know if you saw the interview with Yervon, but That guy's a great guy, and although it was a pretty mild interview, he didn't really get into it too much. The real moral to that story, his life was made so great by his hard-working single mother. Right? She was a special ed teacher. In fact, they called it, she was a teacher of the mentally retarded. That's what they called her job. And it's a tough job. She might have made $20,000 a year, right? And then she took on the challenge of selling timeshares, and she went from making $20,000 a year to $200,000 a year. And she gave it all to her boys. She provided the best schools, the best experiences money could pay for, right? And that is just an inspiring story of a single mom who kicked ass and who was driven, and all for the sake of love for her children. So that's why Yearvon turned out so good. Anyway, then there's Adam's story, and Adam's a great guy. Every time I talk to him, it sounds like he's on the verge of. He just sounds so sad, and like he can cry at any minute, which is like everybody back in Maui. It doesn't go away very quickly, you know. When you lose everything you own, and you lose friends and family and pets, and your whole town and your job, it's like on a whole nother level, right? Loss. And this notion that you're going to do us a favor by coming to Maui, fucking spending your money. Like, if you want to spend money to make Maui whole, find someone's Venmo, fucking send it to them. They'll spend your money there. It'll stimulate the economy. And they won't have to be displaced because you just took their hotel room, right? And they won't have to serve you while they're crying still. Anyway, it's kind of weird hearing the governor at the same time as I'm seeing people getting kicked out of their hotel rooms. They're talking about wanting to open back up, and yeah, if you want to help us people in Maui, come spend your money and make us work for you. Anyway, I mean, I get it. We all want to work. We're all hard workers. We want to work serving others. It's what we do. But it's too soon. It's you know, and you know, maybe FEMA should come in and like help provide some housing first. So, like, what am I going to be, a homeless guy who goes to his job and then cries as I'm serving some food to you? However, I guess, I mean, if you want to go to Maui and fucking give everyone $100 tip every time you go out to eat, if that's your intention, all right, bring it. But God, unless that's your intention, find somebody's GoFundMe, a mom, a bartender, a fireman, anybody. Everybody lost everything. So, and FEMA isn't gonna do shit. They gave me $700. That's all I'm gonna get from FEMA. So fuck you, FEMA. Another reason to get into politics, make things better. What else? Joe Biden legalized weed, and you should probably retire. You're a good man, but you're getting old. Katie Porter, you should run for president. Katie Porter. Let's talk about being successful. If you are a person who has a job, who shows up to work every day, pays your rent, you're a success. All right? Don't let anybody make you think that you need to do more to be a success. If you're an honest person doing an honest day's work, and you're honest to your friends, and you're honest in your community, and you're not doing any crime or harm, you're a success, and you're a great contribution to any community, okay? The good people out there are the people who work, go to work, who show up. And you know, if you listen to Joe Rogan, he would make you think you're a sad, depressed person living in quiet desperation in a miserable life. Bullshit. There's a hell of a lot of pride showing up to work, going to work. Right? All right. Okay, and I got one political joke I'm working on. I want to do a joke where I talk about, you know, Ron DeSantis and his "Don't Say Gay" bill. He's afraid of gay people. Listen, men who have boys, the last thing you want to do is be afraid of your son becoming gay. Because if you're afraid of your son being gay, odds might go up a little bit that he'd be gay. And And yeah, so obviously Ron DeSantis would fear his children becoming gay, which means they probably have a higher propensity of it, potential, right? And so, wouldn't it be funny to make a joke like you're like, oh, Ron DeSantis' kids love to play hide and seek. They're always hiding in the closet, coming in and out of the closet. Boy, the last time they come out of the closet when they're like 18 years old, it's gonna be hard on dad, isn't it? Anyway, it would be interesting if Ron DeSantis' children, both of them, turned out to be gay adults, considering he's afraid of that shit. What a pussy. What a pussy. Biggest pussy ever. You gotta be such a pussy to be afraid of gay people. Gay people are like puppies and kittens, right? Who's afraid of puppies and kittens? Not me. Nor am I afraid of gay people. Anyway, shoots. So check it out, man. People skiing indoors, snowboarding right there. That's crazy. It's crazy. You can see, I might try to do some kind of walk through this mall, but it would take forever. It's so huge. My kids would get so sick of me, and it would just be exhausting. It's so big, and parts of it are sort of empty-ish. You know, you gotta walk through an empty section to get to a section where there's a few people, like where Mr. Beast Burger was. There's just a few people there. And just sad, you know, because it's a mall in America. Malls are, you know, oh, and there's this huge Ferris wheel that's you can walk to from the mall. It's a trip. Anyway, there's just more here than I can comprehend. Yeah, and I don't really have a need for most any of it, actually. But this here tripod I got at Best Buy, now that was useful and helpful. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So let's talk about Maui a little more. Like, I just watched the news. People are getting kicked out of their rooms so that you can make room, and then they're oh well, they were only intending for those people to be put there temporarily anyway. Is the whole excuse, these narratives. Oh, and then I watched these people on one of the major networks, on CBS or something, talking about how Oprah and Dwayne The Rock aren't popular for some reason. And look, if you have that kind of money and you want to help people, you could just get one of your personal assistants, one of them, to just start rifling through Venmos and GoFundMes and Cash Apps, finding people who were devastated from this fire, looking for those people. Make your goal to put together a list of everyone's direct deposit ability, right? And then get your assistant to just start sending money to people, and do it anonymously. Don't even say it's from Oprah. Say it's anonymous, right? Because that's what a good person does. A good person picks up a piece of trash and doesn't brag about it, right? A good person gives $20 to a homeless person and doesn't tell anybody about it, right? Like that guy in East Idaho, there's a person that buys people cars that are like the janitor at the high school. No one knows who that person is. And that person is happier than any of you or me could ever be. The happiest people in the world are the people who give without wanting anything in return. If you're depressed, if you're not happy, if you're sad in any way, all you gotta do is go be generous. It's the cure for depression. It's the cure for unhappiness. And if you don't have money, give time. And if you don't have time, give love. If you can give whatever you can give, everyone has something to share or give or offer. And sometimes it's just their effort, right? Some good words. People have sent me messages that are so sweet they make me cry. Not always accompanied with money. That's not the point, but I tell you what, when people send me money, I cry a little more, probably, because it's so crazy. Anonymous donations. I mean, who does that other than just amazing people who want to feel really good? If you don't know what it's like to feel good, giving. Try giving. This all goes back to as a waiter. So first of all, I gotta mention, I've never called in sick in 35, 40 years of hard work. Never called in sick. I've been paying taxes my whole life. And FEMA, fuck you. FEMA's doing nothing for me. They gave me $700. And because I didn't have a designation of apartment 1, in the house I was renting a space in, I'm just being overlooked completely by FEMA. And there's gotta be lots of people like me just getting fucked. So fuck you again, FEMA. And thanks for using my tax dollars for nothing to help me. Anyway, I lost my place. Fuck. Yeah. Oh yeah, anyway, so. But thank God for you. People who watch my channel or old friends. The first people who Venmo'd me some money were my earliest friends in life. And I can't tell you how thankful I am. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. Co-workers from 15, 20 years ago, people I haven't seen in a long time, you know, sending me money, who I hope can afford to send me money. If you can't afford it, please don't, but those who have. And then strangers. A girl just sent me $500 and said some other really nice things to me, and you know, it's enough to make a grown man cry. Cheers. I got an analogy for you, right? Because this is Don Julio. It's fancy alcohol. If you're gonna drink tequila, I can make a good argument for drinking Don Julio, right? It's fancy booze, but just like a mall like this, right? This is a very big and the fanciest mall ever, but just like alcohol, it's still just a mall, right? Right? Alcohol, the most expensive alcohol in the world, the best alcohol in the world is still shitty alcohol. Alcohol is a shitty drug. Yes, I drink it. No excuse for that. But it is what it is. Don't ever look at alcohol like it's something good, right? And the most expensive, most fancy alcohol in the world is still just shitty alcohol. So to me, it's pretty funny when people make a big deal about drinking alcohol and spending lots of money on it, because that don't mean shit. It's about the dumbest thing you could ever do. Spend a lot of money on alcohol when, you know, yeah. Anyway, even though, I mean, I spent $18 on this one drink, talking about like real lots of money, you know. I've worked in some very fancy, expensive places where, you know, God, I had a lady come up and buy one shot of tequila for $56 and tip me $1 when I was bartending at Waikoko, the restaurant that just closed. Talk about having no class. Oh my God. By the way, generosity is class, right? If you want to have class, be generous. Unlike Tiger Woods, who don't tip. Tiger Woods is a piece of shit. God, what a piece of shit. Watching fucking piece of shit Donald Trump give piece of shit fucking Tiger Woods a medal for being a piece of shit. God, the guy stiffs his fucking bellman, he stiffs his cart boys, he stiffs his waiters. He's a piece of shit. And he did that to everybody I know, 3 of them in Maui. In 1 week, he developed such a bad reputation. The stories of Tiger Woods go on forever on the west side of Maui. That's one thing that outlives the fire, is the stories about what a piece of shit Tiger Woods is. Typical Republican. My God. Holy shit. Oh, and fucking Rush Limbaugh getting a fucking medal. What a piece of shit. That guy is a racist piece of shit. Oh my God. Anyway. What do I got here? Oh yeah, so yeah, anyway, I'm all over the place. Thank you for watching. I don't know what else to say, except Maui's weird, and where all the money that's been raised has gone or is going is going to be a really interesting question, considering, you know, I'm probably not going to get any of it, and I'm the person they're raising money for, right? They're raising money for me, and they're keeping it. I will give credit. United Way gave me $1,000. And if you want to do the basic math, right, $1 million is 1,000 thousands. So there are about 7,000 people who were completely burned out, and then the rest of the island needs help too. But for the people who were burned out of their house, I think there's roughly 7,000 of us, right? So $7 million is 1,000 thousands times 7. So $1 $1 million is $1,000 for 1,000 people. $7 million or $8 million would be $1,000 for everyone whose house burned down. Okay. So, and when you hear $100 million was raised, well, that could be $10,000, right? For 1,000 people, right? I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry. Wait. So wait, $70 million would be 7 million is 1,000. 70 would be, yeah, it'd be 70 million would be $10,000 for each person who lost everything in the fire, basically. And that's a lot of money that we're not going to get. That's already been raised. So, yeah, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, if you want to be cool, man, get your assistant busy sending money through Venmo to people or GoFundMe. Get the money right into their hands. Don't make them apply and qualify and all that bullshit. Because you know what? Maybe you'll just disqualify them, right? Like freaking FEMA or whoever else. It's just weird. It's all very weird. But note to all you famous people, don't try to put your face on someone else's tragedy, right? It's the most tragic thing that's ever happened in the freaking, it's imaginable. I mean, there's worse things, I guess, but short of war, what we face in Maui is just insane. It's right there at war, right? People being burned to death and every building being blown up. I mean, it's crazy. Of course, we don't know how many people they found, how many body bags they filled. They haven't told us that. We don't know how many children were involved. They're starting to lower the numbers in a conspicuous way, which I know from myself, and I'm guessing for many others, we're not going to believe when they try to lower the numbers and say, oh, there was only a couple hundred people, when we've heard of, nearly 1,000 body bags and stuff, word on the street kind of thing. So it's just weird. And then, of course, the weirdest freaking thing is every person I meet on the mainland asks me, so, do you think Oprah started the fire? Oh my God. No, I think a spark started the fire. Power lines were down. There were nearly 100-mile-an-hour winds. Don't be stupid. All you conspiracy theorist people are idiots. That one friend I freaking interviewed who started talking about the Simpsons and blue cars and blue awnings that didn't burn. Come on. Oprah's house being blue. Come on. It's the dumbest shit you could ever talk about. So don't waste your time with that shit. Let's wait for facts. Well, we need our facts about why the water didn't work and why the fire hydrants didn't work, why my faucet didn't work, right? That's what we need answers for that, and why they couldn't get fire resources there from someplace over a 5-6 hour period when you could probably load a military plane on Oahu with fire trucks, get them to Maui in 30 minutes, get them to the site in another 40 minutes. Those last videos of mine at 8 o'clock at night when I'm filming a town catching fire and my house catching fire after a fire that had been burning for freaking 8-10 hours. They couldn't get anybody there. That's what I want to know. All right? That's if there's a conspiracy theory to be born out of something that went wrong. I want to know how come they didn't have water tankers full with fire trucks defending my neighborhood and the neighborhood that I filmed burn up where that wood pile was. There'd been a fire truck right there on that wood pile with water, but there was no water, which is why, but in that amount of time we could have filled tanker trucks. We could have flown firemen over from Oahu. So if I was governor, next time something like this happened, I would do all that. And I don't know why or how no one did any of that at all. I mean, my God, it's so haunting. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, towns burning to the ground. And there's nobody anywhere, right? My video of my neighborhood blowing up and the neighborhood across from the football field blowing up at 8 o'clock at night, I don't think had to happen. I think it could have been prevented if we just had a little bit of help. A couple fire hosers, one tanker of water could have saved maybe my whole neighborhood and like a quarter of Lahaina. But anyway, thanks for your patience and your time. Thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time. I don't even know if it's still filming me. I might have run out of memory. But again, if you're looking to do any harm or crime, don't. Be nice to each other. Be nice to yourself. Tip 20%, and have a great day. Today is a great day to have a great day. All right. Thank you very much. Ugh.